right, what have we got here today? Is my voice coming out loud enough?
Oh yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Ernie,
And I'm Jack Pinstripe, your family lawyer. Now today, we have a guest here who has had the misfortune of sponsoring a bride from overseas.
boy, that was a trip.
Now,
I'll tell you that.
Ernie, you're probably familiar with the Government of Canada Immigration Act, right? Immigration and Refugee Act, to be exact. Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, to be exact. So bear in mind that whoever you sponsor is going to have a lot of protection from the state.
Wow, that's for sure.
I would say they have more protection than you do.
Yes, and just here in the country for basically 2.5 years as of now. Well, August 14, 2023.
So Ernie, so that everybody out there knows what happened, basically, my understanding is you met someone online, is that correct?
Yeah, January 10th, 2012, and I thought it was in good faith. And the person, she pretended that she loved me, and then we corresponded back and forth via Skype and WhatsApp and all that. And then I went to Kenya.
No, that's fine. Just don't mention any names.
Okay, and I married her, and we had a child there. I was there for 1 month, in the month of November, and I came back here to beautiful my city, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and then after, she flew here in 2023. I paid $6,000 to fly her and my daughter, from Kenya to here.
And what happened in the end?
Oh, well, so when they got here, you should see, it was crazy because, as soon as the second day rolled around, she was out of the dwelling constantly all day and jogging, as she said, and getting to know the city.
So some people might say that she may have entered a marriage of convenience for immigration purposes, right? I don't want to be cynical about it,
I
but
would agree on that statement.
Canada is one of the places people like coming to, and it has a lot of safety nets, so even if your marriage doesn't work out, you will be able to easily get welfare and very suitable housing.
Oh yes, and by the way, they have the PR card, so they're permanent residents.
So when you brought her over, you did all the paper? No, you had an immigration lawyer. I remember that.
Yeah.
And you recall some of these rules, right? That you would be responsible financially for 3 years.
Yes, yeah, right. Definitely.
And you entered it in good faith, certainly not expecting a marital breakdown.
Exactly. And in fact, a little side note for our viewers, when I took the uptrain up to Pearson Airport here in Toronto, she wasn't even there at the arrival gate. So I waited, and the next thing you know, I was going to leave to go back to my house, and next thing you know, who did I see is my now separated wife and daughter. She was holding my daughter. I went up to her and gave her a kiss on the cheek. She didn't smile or hug me or nothing. Didn't utter a word.
Sorry, you saw her at the airport?
Yeah, outside in the department.
Okay. And you are aware that you're liable for 3 years of support payments for your spouse?
Yeah.
And a minimum of 10 years.
Wow.
For your child.
The nightmare continues.
Right. So you entered all this in good faith, and you don't know if your spouse is working or not.
No idea. I'm not even allowed to know that.
You're not allowed to know that stuff, so basically you're on the hook for money here.
Yeah.
And
I was told I was even told that basically I can't even go near my daughter's school because if I do, I could be subject to arrest and a big, hefty fine.
Yeah. When you decided to go this route, sponsoring someone from overseas, did you know other men who had sponsored wives from overseas? Was this recommended to you, this kind of behavior?
Yes, some guys I know tried to, but it really didn't work out too good, and it barely ever worked, maybe one time. And one of the guys, I won't mention his name, But he tried to bring his wife here, Jack, from West Africa.
It wasn't me, folks.
Yeah, and also this is the weird part, Jack. You should see. So he tried to bring his wife back in the time, maybe 10 years ago, from West Africa, Ghana here, and then he ended up getting murdered in Ghana. Imagine. So that was it for the.
Well,
the
you know,
thing on that
you
front,
know,
too.
maybe it was just a coincidence.
Where there's smoke, there's fire, right, Jack?
You realize that when the relationship changed, you could have canceled the whole sponsorship obligations, right?
Wow, if only I knew that then. I didn't know
But
that for our viewers.
Ernie had not consulted a lawyer, which is unfortunate because people should consult a lawyer before their troubles begin, not after.
That's true.
In any event, Immigration Canada will not cancel the sponsorship. She is here. She has food, clothing, shelter, and it's even possible she's enrolled in an educational program. And of course, who's paying for all of this? You are, but
Yeah.
the larger portion, let's be realistic, is being paid by Canadian taxpayers.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true.
Canadian government redistributes the funds it collected via taxation.
Well, I know for our viewers, I pay child support payments, Jack, every month. So, and we as a family, we helped her out over the years. I sent a lot of money to Kenya and that, and it was never enough. In fact, she wanted me to buy her a car just before she came here, and I said, "Why would you want me to buy you a car and send the money up to Kenya when you're coming down here to Toronto to be with me?"
It sounds like
I got fished in, Claudia, fished in by the ways of love, right? What I perceived as love.
yeah. Well, anyway, let that. I hate to say, let that be a lesson to you. It's a lesson for all of us, and it's very easy to fall into these traps, especially when you're egged on by people, you know, and even more so by the internet, which makes all kinds of promises that it seldom ever delivers on. So that's unfortunate what happened to you, Ernie.
Oh yeah.
I wish you well with the next one. Are you going to be sponsoring from overseas again? Or?
Never again. After that nightmare, that's for sure. No.
All right, well, thank you for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
Have a good
Thank
day,
you,
everyone.
Jack.
Do not enter any kind of relationship before speaking to your family lawyer.
Sage words of wisdom.
Good day. That's